this video, we're going to be showing how to reshape parts using the Dremel to re-sculpt them. First, I'm wanting this custom project. I'm going from these big feet from the Caliban figure to a smaller, more shoe-like proportion. But if I try to put these feet onto these without any modifications, you got these giant, huge ankles, legs, or cankles, whatever you want to call them. They need to be reshaped and tapered down to match the proportions of the new feet. I already did it on this foot. As you can see, it's been tapered down to match to the contour of the new feet, the new foot. And so I want to show you how I do that. For this project too, I'm actually going to end up sculpting armor. It's going to be on a separate video. We'll sculpt armored boots. For that, I had to glue the boot cut. On the Caliban legs, the boot cut is at a weird angle. So I've used these before for a custom project. I tried to save that and have sculpt over top of it. No matter what I did, it was breaking the sculpt. This just wasn't really worth the time to try to save the boot cut. Would have loved to have it in what I'm going to be doing with this, but because the armor is actually going to be coming up to here. So where it's at just doesn't work for what I'm going to be doing. So first step, I had to glue the boot swivels. They're locked in position now. We'll set these to the side. I did the one side. I can use this as a reference for matching up with this one. For this project, of course, we're going to need my coarse barrel bit, Dremel bit, and my Dremel swivel. Then I'll use the smooth Dremel barrel bit. I have another bit that's for modifying the feet. And the smaller bit for another one for working on the feet. For this process, I use a marker again to help visualize how much material I need to take off. And you can see it's got a nice tapered profile on the one I've already done. What I'm going to do, that's a little bit, basically just doing it by eye. I take and try to draw a line of where I want to grind off to. It's more of a eyeballing it and just get instead of just having to work from eyesight, well, you're using the marker to help visualize how much material you need to take off. And so I already have one done. I can look back and forth, see if it matches up. That looks pretty good. This is a lot of grinding once you get your lines marked. Let's see. Basically taking a good chunk of the corner off the edges off the side. Okay. Also end up going to reduce the size of the joint, the ankle joint as well. I'm going to so I can match the taper of the ankle to the new shin. And also, when grinding it down too helps make to create a gap enough where when you paint the ankle joints, it won't rub and come off when you actually articulate the joint. I'm thinking that looks pretty close. Now the noisy part is start grinding. And be sure always to wear safety glasses when you're using a Dremel tool. You don't want hot pieces of plastic flying in your eye. So I grew up in the South, and it's almost kind of like a. I remember sitting on the riverbank and whittling wood with my grandpa. It's kind of what you're doing here. But you're whittling away a little bit of plastic at a time. You want to go slow and pull your part back after you cut some of the material. Look at it and keep going until you're shaped the way you want it. I'm going to use the other one already done as a comparison. So once you do one, getting it match the other one, that's really the hardest part. Making things match when you sculpt. And that is off to a good start. Let's see, I want to take down the diameter of the joint as well. I hope you can see this properly. It's a lot different than what I normally sculpt when I'm using the grinder. I usually hold my hands up close to me and hold everything tight and come a little bit against my stomach, and you can't see that. And just grind away and look down, but a little different from holding my arms out like this. Let's do a quick little look and see of how close I'm getting so far. That's actually getting pretty close already, so you can see. A lot of this is going to be, like I said, I'm going to be in the next video. We're going to start working on building up the skeletal structure for sculpting the armor on the boots. This is just to shape it so it looks properly with the feet. Let's do a quick little fix on the feet right quick. These feet are from the Warpath figure. What I'm doing here, I'm actually making it where I can pop the feet on and off. I'm just going really slow. I'm just beveling the edge around the peg hole. Make it easier to take it on and off without having to use any hot water to pop the feet on and off all the time for test fitting. You want to go slow and easy. You don't want to take off too much material. Just enough where you can pop them on and off without having to, and keeping your secure fit. There we go. You can see, still hear the nice pop. It almost like when you popping a head on a ball joint now. Let's see. Let's compare it to the other side. Now we're getting close. Need a little bit more material taken off. I'll go ahead and pull the marker out so I can get an idea. One thing I try to do too, I'm going to try to, when I'm grinding down, I leave it rounded out where it looks like you still got the ankles. And I'm going to mark just a little bit more. It looks pretty good. Also, with the Caliban legs, where they're shaped, the angle of the boot cut and the way they're twisted, the shin is coming down to this, kicking off to the side. I'm actually going to grind a little bit of this off here, then I'll re-sculpt so I can have the muscle come down. We're going to have the shin bone come down through this more proper angle we use for these feet. I'm going to need to grind a little bit more off the back. Get a good idea where to go here. Let's switch back to my barrel bit. Okay. And back to grinding. Let's see, how are we looking? That looks pretty good. Let's see. Making a little bit more curve through here. Needs to come out. Right through here. Now, this is not very technical explaining on this part here. This is basically just using your artistic eye when you're looking at this. Just see what looks right. You're looking at it and try to get the anatomy correct on it, because when you're re-sculpting the ankles like this. So one thing also too, I'm been doing is grinding off the musculature, like the veins and stuff, but these are going to end up being armor boots, so I don't really need that. It'll make it easier to sculpt over. I want to get rid of that stuff. Let's take off a little bit of this material right here. It's kind of incorporating what we did last time with the cutting down the material, the joints, not enough room for paint. As you can see, there's a Right inside here, there's a nice little gap now. So when you articulate this, you won't get any paint rub. But you're still getting the nice... The ratchet must be inside the ankle itself. The pin area that's built into the plastic. So you can still hear the nice little ratchet at the joint. Okay, let's test fit the foot. Now that looks a little much better, more proportional. Are we matching? That looks pretty good. Alright, I think that finishes up this phase here. Well, I'll just have to do a little bit of cleanup. I'll take the smooth bit. Clean it up. I don't have to clean it up a lot since I'm going to be sculpting over. The coarser material actually helps with the epoxy adhere to the part a little better. I just want to knock off the little high edges of it to clean it up just a little bit. One of the neat features with this material, where it's almost a semi-translucent material, you can still see the original musculature through the material even after you cut it out, which actually helps with when reshaping these parts. I can basically follow the lines of where the muscle should be that's already sculpted into the part, which helps a lot on this part. This is not always the case when you have more opaque materials. Alright, I think we're in good shape. Are we still matching up? Pretty close. Actually, I think the one I start with, I need to do a little bit of finishing on it. Switch back to the coarse bit. Alright, we got them even now. So there's no real exact method for this. This is all by eye, and it's your project. You make it look the way you want to. And I'm thinking that matches up pretty good. Well, I think that finishes up this one. Appreciate you taking the time. Like, share, subscribe. Come back. It will be the next part of this project. We're going to be starting when you be using styrene to build up the skeletal structure for sculpting the armor boots. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.